probably the category of comparison would not be trans women, cisgendered women. It might be within categories of sex workers, that might be one category, of vulnerable population. How many of those women who are being murdered are trans women who are being murdered probably because they're trans, right? Or what seems to be the motivation here that put this body in the way of violence? Is this person living on the street? Is this person raised under, were they raised under certain conditions? So when we have these blanket comparisons, it in a way, it undercuts the purpose of circulating the statistic in the first place, because we want to identify a vulnerable population, but we're making a sweeping claim. Trans women are 5 times as likely to be murdered as a cisgendered woman. Depends what women, where, in what situation, living in what city, under what conditions.
And I don't need the microphone. I have this tiny little thing. I totally agree with Jack, and we actually started doing some work around that. I belong to a global reference group of women, living with HIV, and we had done so far 2 reports, one on violence against women living with HIV, and released in conjunctions with the International Women's Day last year, and it's on UNAIDS website that you can actually download. And within that, we talked about a lot of the similarities, actually, of the type of violence women and trans women living with HIV face. Gender-based violence, and the kind of poverty, that we live in, that make us more susceptible to violence, and there's not a whole lot of means to escape, right? So and those are more meaningful than to say that which groups suffer more, and and which groups we need to prioritize more, and historically, like sex workers, because of the conditions and environment that they were exposed. It doesn't matter which country, really. When there are over punitive laws and over criminalizing laws, we would see a similar pattern.